Isabella Thomas, is she here? Is Isabella here? Ask Mrs. Thomas whether her two children have got regressive autism. Ask her whether they've got inflammatory bowel disease.
Somehow, Brian obtained some medical notes and the names of the Lancet 12 children. He published them on his website in 2006. One of the children included on Dear's website was the son of Isabella Thomas. She is pursuing legal action against Brian and therefore did not want to provide a response in this film. But this is what she said on the opening day of the hearing in 2007.
And the form of autism, you know, they keep saying autism, but what our children have is the virus inside them. They've got the vaccine strain virus My2 in the damaged tissue in their bowel. They've got it in their bloodstream. And interestingly enough, when they checked Michael's bloodstream first, it was negative. Then Michael started to have attacks because they keep having attacks of this virus in their system. And he had a very bad attack. They checked his blood again and it was in there in high levels. So they should actually be researching what is happening, what this virus is doing to their system. And that is not happening. Now, with the very bad attack he had memory loss, hallucinations, the most severe headaches where he, travelling along in a car, he tried to open the door to get out, to escape the pain, collapsing at school. His school, that he was at before the senior one, wrote a letter to whom it may concern from the medical profession to say this is outrageous, this child is sick and he's getting no treatment. I've spoken to doctors and they have said to me, we believe your children are damaged as well as others, but we've either got a mortgage to pay or we cannot do it because we will be struck off like Andrew Wakefield. It was us parents who said there's a connection between the vaccine. We saw it, we were there, and grandparents, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, we were all there, we saw what happened. And yet, all Andrew Wakefield did, as a doctor would, is say, this is what the parents are saying. This is extremely concerning and it needs to be investigated. And bring back the single vaccines and start doing the research. And guess what? That was it. No way. So if he hadn't mentioned the MMR vaccine, I can guarantee you there's no way that man would be in there at all. And again, I would say the children would have had treatment, but because they're MMR damaged, they are blacklisted. I've gone into a doctor's surgery with my son, extremely ill. He looked at me, not my son, and he said, I don't want politics brought into this surgery. Another time where my son had collapsed because he nearly died of having, his body went into shock. I phoned the surgery. They said, oh yes, one of Andrew Wakefield's children. Not, you know, he's not, he's my son. And they didn't come out, they ignored him, give him Calpol. I phoned the hospital, give him Calpol. And the child then started to become unconscious. Called an ambulance, he was rushed into hospital and literally they had to save his life. And do you know what? When I went in there, all around my son were doctors and nurses. And I looked at them and I thought, my God, you know, I was so angry because now he's nearly dying and you want to do something. And I was angry with them and I said to them, this is ridiculous. And he was going jaundice in colour at this time. And the doctor said, Mrs. Thomas, we're treating the emergency only. So he was not interested in having any follow-ups or finding out why my son nearly died.
Ask her.
My children.
No, well, let's just deal with that. That's what they're dealing with now. I'm not going to get involved in 10 years of.
I think you focused on the wrong issue. You focused on the 1998 paper.
I gave the GMC the findings that I had at the time.
Well, that's right to do that. But we're focused on the kids, and it's 2008 now. What about the evidence that's emerged since?
Well, that's a different issue.
The evidence since 1998 has resulted in the general acceptance that children with autism are at a higher risk for gastrointestinal problems than non-autistic children. It has been written into the NHS framework for child health that children with autism are likely to require gastrointestinal evaluation. It was the three at the GMC and the team at the Royal Free Hospital that first drew attention to this.
I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to debate. Find something that I've published saying that MMR does or doesn't cause autism. Have you found anything that I've published saying whether or not MMR does or doesn't cause autism?
Perhaps a more appropriate question is, can Brian or anyone else find anything published by Wakefield, Walker Smith or Murch that says MMR does or does not cause autism?
In people who find
I'm not responsible for that.
No, I understand. You're a journalist.
I do my job on that particular subject, and I did it.
You, as a good journalist, you presumably want to report the Hannah Poling case.
What about the Hannah Poling case?
Have you read it?
Mitochondrial injury.
Have you read the job?
Mitochondrial inherited disease.
Leading to autistic-like symptoms?
Autistic-like symptoms followed. With nine vaccines leading to fever.
How do you know that
that's not an admission? The American government has stated absolutely explicitly. I'm not arguing for the American government. They have stated absolutely explicitly.
How do you know my son isn't like Hannah Poling?
Well, I don't.
Well, that's right. That's why I'm here.
So, are you one of those people who thinks that the American Centers for Disease Control, the National Institutes of Health, the Institute of Medicine, and all the paediatricians in the world are all involved in a conspiracy to cover up alleged horrific injuries to children? That's all they do is peddle a conspiracy.
What has happened is that nobody has independently funded the research to uncover what has happened to our children.
Are you saying that the Department of Health? There are doctors there who knowingly are concealing that MMR causes horrific injuries to children?
Yes! Yes, we are.
So then there's something.
So we've got children to prove it.
Explain what's happened to our children then. Why would they do that?